Hello and welcome to Keyboard Road Warrior with me, Movie Scout 007, where we play Euro Truck Simulator 2 with a keyboard on a laptop. So, at the end of the last video, we leveled up. We are now level 26, which means we've got a skill point to apply and we've got some upgrades to look at. So let's do that first. Let's apply our skill point. We know where that's going to go. It's going here. Just in time delivery, we are adding rank 4, which gives us 12% reward. That's a 3% increase for finishing an important delivery, and 20% higher reward, 5% increase for finishing an urgent delivery. So let's apply that, and let's check out the upgrades. So exhausts and bull bar. Pretty much the same for everyone. Yeah, exhausts and a bull bar. Where there's more than one vehicle, you get double the number of upgrades. So yeah, that's that. They're alright. I don't think I'd apply any of this to my beautiful Volvo because it would get in the way of the stunning beauty that you can see there. You'd hide all of that lovely grille, but that's just me. Alright, let's go. Let's parking brakes time. Let's go and fix the truck. Alright, we're in the UK. So we've got to drive on t'other side it road. T'other side it road, as they say in Yorkshire. So today I'm going to carry on talking about what I kind of abandoned about 3/4 of the way through the video, which was TV programs that I love. And I was talking about Star Trek at the time, but as soon as we've repaired and rested, we'll talk about some other stuff. So let's service this. £550, I like it. Right, let's get ourselves in a parking bay and get ourselves rested. Right. Actually, what we should have done before we did that first rest is to sort out our garages. So let's double check what we've got in terms of garages. So nothing in Prague, and we're full everywhere else. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill Prague up, and then we're going to upgrade Brussels. So let's go to the truck dealer. Let's select Volvo, and it don't matter where we are, but we're going to go there. Right, let's select this and configure the engine. We can upgrade these later on, but now we want to be able to afford. So Prague 1. Okay. And then next in Prague. Okay. And let's escape from that, go to the recruitment agency and get 2 drivers, and then by the time we finished our second and third sleep cycle, we'll have enough money to put another truck in Prague. So I'm looking, I think we're kind of now reaching the stage where I'm going to have to look at people with 3 no matter where they are. I think we're at the stage where I need to stop. I can't expect anything like what I've been getting in terms of drivers. But you can see we've got 4 drivers a page, and there's what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 12 pages. So what's that? 48 drivers. I've got 48 drivers left. It's not a lot. Now, that is mitigated by the fact that I will have more recruitment agencies the more cities I discover. Let's go back to one. Let's pick someone with a 3, and we're going to go with Chrysadina. She's got an ADR and 2 ecos, so let's stick her in the Czech Republic. And we've got Helena, also an ADR and 2 ecos. That leaves us a driver short for the so let's it leaves us a truck and a driver short on the and it's raining, of course. We've got 170. That means we can let's get our final truck in the 3-berth garage at Prague, and then we will see how much we've got left. So let's do our usual. Boom. This is probably not particularly interesting for you guys, 7 minutes in to be still watching me buy trucks and hire drivers. But I'm not hiding any part of this game from you, so let's escape from that. Let's recruit our 3rd driver for Prague. Let's hire a driver. Yeah, I think we're looking at Ronald. Ronald is going to join the ladies in Prague. So we've got 88,000 left. I am going to spend that on upgrading my garage in Brussels. So let's upgrade that, because we now can't fit another lorry anywhere else. Okay, and it's just updating, loading the game to take into account that, and that's lovely. It's chucking it down, fantastic. And so Brussels, we've just added 2 berths. Edinburgh's full, Berlin's full, Liverpool's full, Prague's full, Paris is full, Amsterdam's full, and Warsaw's full. Now only Prague can be upgraded. Brussels needs 2 drivers, but we're going to fill Brussels before we upgrade Prague. So that's the boring portion of this this sorted. Let's go to the job market and select ourselves some gainful employment. So we are in Dover. Where is Banska Bystrica? Bratislava, Helsinki, Rostock, Lyon. No, let's have a look at Banska Bystrica. It's at 27. Let's double check. Yeah, we haven't been to Banska Bystrica. Banska Bystrica. So Banska Bystrica is yeah, let's select that. It's a nice big fat £43,000 payoff. Okay, and let's get my screenshot as per. Again, apologies for the boring portion of this, but there we go. Okay, right, let's go pick up our load. Let's put our wipers on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Going far too fast, and I had a major stutter on the screen. Right, so after this lorry, hopefully we will be clear. Boom. Taking a left here. As soon as the lights, oh, then they're green. And I'll be back to mainland Europe, which will mean we'll be driving on the right-hand side of the road, which will be the better side of the road for this particular vehicle, given that I'm driving a left-hand drive in a right-hand drive country. Alright, so we've got £8,000 left. You know that that's not going to be all we have. We've got a rest stop, plus we've got a 27-hour journey. So we're going in here. So let's stop and collect our load. Let's take that jump. It's a shame there aren't keyboard shortcuts for that. There you go. So we're taking that white refrigerated trailer. Right, we're hooked up. Let's go. Oh, I've got a real frog in my throat. So we were talking about TV shows, and before I got distracted by empire building and by parking, I'd been talking about Star Trek, which I'd enjoyed, and I'm actually a big fan of science fiction, so I'm a bit of a nerd. That may come as no surprise. A couple of shows that, whoa, crap. I am driving in the UK on the wrong side of the bloody road. Okay. It should come as no surprise that I like a few science fiction shows. A couple that are now no longer broadcasting that I particularly love. I love Farscape. That had a good run. They had 4 years. It probably ended before its time. It lost a couple of actors, particularly one major actress. But the poor woman was suffering health problems because to play her part she was covered in blue paint all day long, and it did something horrible to her skin. So you can't blame that poor woman for wanting to not play that part anymore. But I loved that show. It was filmed in Australia by the Jim Henson Company. It had a puppet or two in it. In fact, one of the main characters was a puppet, which was obviously a puppet. I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. It was a puppet, so. It looks like we might be going to the flipping tunnel again. Mind you, at this distance it doesn't really matter. We're not going to get anything from sleep this close to our journey, unfortunately. So we'll get a left turn coming up here. So I like the premise though of a human suddenly being shot through a black hole to the other side of the universe, and then discovering that in fact humanity isn't alone, and how he deals with that in his bumbling, egotistical, arrogant American way. I thought it was quite good. I liked the way that they reconciled humanity and having a human-like antagonist. I quite like that. They called the characters Sebastians, which is quite bizarre. The characters were called Sebastians because they lacked a sebaceous gland, which is, if you know anything, is a sweat gland, which became a bit of a plot point actually. It's a bizarre thing to give characters a lack of sweat gland, but there you go. That was their choice. It was an interesting one, and I thought it worked quite well, even though it was something I wouldn't have picked. It featured Ben Browder, who then went on to appear in Stargate towards the tail end of its existence. He was in an episode of Doctor Who. He appears to be an all-round nice guy, he played a fun character. I quite enjoyed watching him play this guy, John Crichton. It was interesting. I liked his close friendship with a very weird-looking sort of pseudo Chewbacca called Khal Drago. I thought the dynamic, and he had a relationship with a Sebastian, which I thought was quite good. They added a couple of characters in the second, and they added a character in the second series, and then added another in the third to make up for the loss of the painted lady. But all round, I thought it was well written, interesting. Obviously, given that it was shot in Australia by the Henson Company, even probably shoestring budget, I thought they did bloody well. Obviously, all the stuff in space was CGI. It's much, even with the expensive CGI, it's still cheaper to build space on CGI than it is to build models. Another science fiction series that I loved, that only got one series, it got cancelled, erroneously cancelled. It was a wonderful programme that I think to this day, 11, 12, quite a few years later, still people are complaining bitterly that it was cancelled, is Firefly, which I think is a wonderful television programme with an amazing set of characters. The lead was Malcolm Reynolds, played by an amazing actor who's now in the TV show Castle, Nathan Fillion. Fantastic. I love the couple of actors that you may know. Alan Tudyk, who you'll know as Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball. Whoa. No. Ah, crap. Hang on, I might be able to turn around here. Please let me turn around. There we go. I think we might be alright. Just as long as I can get that round without clouting into anything, without anyone driving into me, without too much damage from this off-road excursion that I'm about to take. No, I'm good. Phew. Thank goodness for that. So he played this sort of former sergeant from a rebel army, a bit like the Rebel Alliance, but they're known as the Brown Shirts, against an imperial aggressor. Thank goodness it stopped raining. I'll be able to hear myself think. Right, I think this one is for us. Yeah, this one's for us. Oh, just spotted that white car in my corner of my eye, which is a relief. I would have liked to have crashed into it. Right, we're going to the left. But Farscape was a beautiful programme. It was funny and serious at the same time. It was irreverent. It was what they called a space western. Alright. So we're going from Folkestone to Calais. It's going to cost us £240. It's only going to take about half an hour, which is about right. When you go on the Eurotunnel, you go into Paris, it takes about an hour and a half. Most of that journey is in fact overground. There's only a short portion of it's in fact underground. So let us get off this train and get ourselves back in mainland Europe and get on our way. I love how it's hopefully not showing me where I need to be going. That's really useful. Ah, there we go. Finally. I was kind of pointing in the wrong direction. If I'd have been able to reverse, I would have been able to... I'm getting in this lane so that I'm prepared to be on the correct side of this road for this side of the English Channel. So yes, it was an amazing program with quite a funny dynamic between the characters, and it was. Oh, I'm going the wrong bloody way. What is the matter with me? All right, I think this one I can do a U-turn on and I'll be fine. I think this one it doesn't really matter. It's just slightly, microscopically longer to go this way round than it is to go the other. Yeah, there we go. We're back in business. We're good. So it's thoroughly entertaining to watch these characters sort of bicker like a family, and then they have the added dynamic of a really weird girl played by Summer Glau who sees things and has been experimented on relentlessly because of her abilities. And the loan installment's just gone out. It's probably about 24 or 25. So we are probably now a third of the way through our loan repayments, which is good. Nice wide angle so that we can get around there without slowing down too much. And do the same here. Although actually, I know these ones are old. Unless you take that kind of angle, you can get stuck on the barrier. Now I've enabled a couple of apps. I've enabled a mod. Sorry, not a couple of apps. I'd enabled a couple of mods, but one of them's still not working, and I don't know which mod it's conflicting with because it works for other people. I'm still trying to get the reversing light mod to work, but it's not. But the mod that I've got applied, and I'm about to see if it works, is the larger speed sign mod. One of my big problems is being able to see posted speed limits. I can't, because the graphical fidelity of this laptop is such that I cannot see or read anything that's written. Now I don't want to alter the road signs, but you can see how much larger that speed sign is, and you can see that says 90. Looks a bit rough though. It doesn't look. It looks particularly awful on this. It's bigger, but I don't know that it's any clearer. I've got a feeling that I might end up getting rid of that one. Oops, all over the road. I'm moving a bit of cable out of the way, so that's why I'm a bit all over the shop. So that was that Farscape. It's available on DVD. I know that for sure. It's available on Blu-ray actually. If you like funny and you don't mind space and you like interesting, sarcastic characters, then this is the program for you. I urge you to buy it. I urge everyone to buy it so that Fox, who are the scumbag channel that cancelled it, Fox, my nemesis, owned by the scumbag Rupert Murdoch. That I need to stress, them cancelling Firefly is not the reason I hate Rupert Murdoch. I hated Rupert Murdoch long before Firefly was even written, never mind filmed or broadcast. But it's just one more piece of evidence that the guys and the company he runs is run by idiots. I mean, this is probably a company that if Rupert Murdoch had owned wouldn't have funded Star Wars. So, yes, there's that. He's an idiot. So, I've got to sleep in 9 hours. I've got almost a full tank of fuel. I've got 25 minutes of real time, and we've made some money because the 4,600 that I paid to the bank has meant I only go down to 7,100 from 8,000. So we made some cash already of our empire. Okay, I love police procedurals, so I like things like NYPD Blue, which obviously is no longer being broadcast. I love I like the first series of Law and Order. I like the first series of the British version. I don't like the offshoots, the off threads like SU, Special Victims Unit, and the other ones. They're just of no interest to me whatsoever. I liked the original CSI, although I kind of lost interest in it when the character Gil Grissom left, because he was the heart and soul of the program. Primarily he was the reason for watching it, and without Gil Grissom in it, it's kind of not the same program. Not a big fan of CSI Miami. It had beautiful people and beautiful locations, but frankly, I don't know. Oh God, that's awfully pixelated. I mean, I know I could see it was 70, but that was horribly played. That's coming out. That's coming out. It's totally destroying the illusion of the game. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm stuck with it for the fullness of this journey, but between the first journey and the second... Actually, I think I'm stuck... I'm doing 2 videos today, so it's going to be there for the 2 videos, because in order to get rid of it, I've got to back out of the game. I think. Anyway, so I didn't like CSI Miami. I don't know why. I don't know whether it was the characters were too smug or the writing, or what it was about CSI Miami that I didn't like, but it didn't do it for me. Whoa, Nelly. CSI New York, interesting. I'm kind of CSI New York works for me depending on the story. I don't always like it. We're back up to 110. This is good. I don't always like it, but when it works, it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't. I do like the character played by Gary Sinise. I can't remember the character's name, but then I don't watch it as much as I watched William Peterson's Gil Grissom. You'll know William Peterson from the very first Hannibal Lecter film, which was Man-Eater, which was remade as Red Dragon. Red Dragon was the book from which the film was made, but they changed it. I think they didn't want people to think it was a film about Kung Fu or something, or Bruce Lee or anything like that, and so they renamed it Man-Eater. But we live in an age now where that sort of thing doesn't really matter. To be honest, we live in an age now where you really don't need to watch a film anymore, because you get the entire film from the bloody trailer. I'm stopped watching trailers for movies now, because I find out too much about film. All I want to know is who's in it, what's the most basic, rawest, shortest introduction to the film. Oh, please tell me I didn't clutter the trailer. Good. And that's it. I'll make my mind up. Because there aren't that many films released that I can't usually fit most films in going to the cinema once a week, and that's what I do at the moment. I go to the cinema once a week. That might change when we get back to London. There's a company called Cineworld. They do a card. You pay a set fee a month, then you can just go as many times as you want to the cinema. And some months you will lose money because there won't be many films out. Some months you'll make money because there'll be so many films out that you can actually go once a day for 4 weeks. Okay, I just knocked my camera, and so I had to pause, so that I might as well download the footage. So, apologies about that. So we were talking about, we just crossed the border, and we were talking about police procedurals and CSI, and I preferred that, the Vegas and New York to Miami. I've just realised that we were talking about science fiction. I've missed possibly one of my favourite science fiction programmes, which I've already talked about, and I think you already know I'm a big fan of, which is Doctor Who. They are filming as we speak in Cardiff and around the country for the new Doctor, Peter Capaldi. There's been some footage which they... there's been some footage of them shooting the programme in Cardiff city centre. In a stunning turn of events, it was raining in Cardiff. It does seem to like to rain in the United Kingdom. Ah, pants. Oof. That was what I refer to as lucky driving, not skillful driving. Skillful driving would have meant I was prepared for that exit and would have been in the right lane. Oh, that's awful. I really don't like those road signs. I know I can read them a little bit more clearly now, but they look awful. We're getting rid of them. Yep, no, that's horrible. Yeah, Doctor Who I absolutely love. It is one of my favourite programmes. I love the way they got round the first actor not being healthy enough to carry on with it. William Hartnell did it for 2 or 3 years, and then due to ill health, it should be pointed out, William Hartnell actually was younger than the character he was playing. It's just his health was particularly poor. So he passed the baton to Patrick Troughton, who is a great many people's favourite. In fact, I think Matt Smith, who just handed the baton to Peter Capaldi, is quoted as saying that Patrick Troughton is his favourite Doctor. My favourite would have to be Tom Baker, but I hold a tremendously large amount of affection for Peter Davison. Those were my two Doctors. Tom Baker was the Doctor I grew up with. Peter Davison was the Doctor that I loved prior to the series sort of going down a weird path. Now, I missed out on Doctor Number 6, played by Colin Baker, because, as I've previously stated, I became a moody teenager, as all teenagers do. I think 84 was his, and I was 14, and that's the point at which my life took weird changes. My body was going through the same physical change all teenagers' bodies go through at some point in that period in their life, and I was having a particularly hard time. My parents were splitting up. Television became not particularly important. And I wasn't allowed a television in my room, so at that age I got into music. I got into music and drawing and building Airfix kits. That was my way of coping, is just whack some music on, get a Tamiya kit out and begin gluing it together and painting it. And no one could disturb me, and it was a thing I could do on my own, and if I screwed it up, and no one else screwed it up. And it wasn't something I needed friends to do. It wasn't something I needed family to do. It wasn't something I needed support for. I could do it on my own. And so I missed out on the fantastic Colin Baker, because I didn't think he was good at the time. I obviously saw the odd episode here and there. But as an adult, I watched that show, and I think it's fantastic in spite of the moron that was running it at the time. They handed it to a guy that was... The guy producing the series might as well have been a hairdresser. He wasn't a TV producer. He made some moronic decisions. Chief among them, for poor old Colin Baker, was the stupid outfit that the poor guy was saddled with. I've never, ever felt more sorry for an actor than I felt for Colin Baker. And I wondered whether it was his idea, and he's been very clear that that is not the outfit he wanted. He wanted something sombre and sort of more akin to what William Hartnell was wearing. And I completely understand what the poor guy was going through. As an amateur thespian, I have been made to wear some bloody awful costumes, but I've been made to wear those costumes because that's probably all that could be afforded, all that was available. It's not the... It's just not... Oh, it's an awful, awful outfit. The other thing I hate is the question marks. I forget the guy's name. He had a double-barreled surname, but he insisted on sticking a question mark everywhere. Tom Baker, in his last year, had the question mark on his lapel. Peter Davison had the question marks on his lapel. Sylvester McCoy ended up having a question mark on his umbrella, and there was question mark lapel on Colin Baker's shirt sleeve. But poor old Colin Baker had to suffer this multicoloured bloody patchwork quilt outfit with yellow trousers with red stripes, and he had spats, and it's just, it's awful. It's truly, truly hideous. He added one touch. For some bizarre reason that's never been properly explained to me, Peter Davidson wore a bit of celery in his lapel. Colin Baker had cap brooches. Now, I believe Colin Baker chose the cap brooches and he wore different ones, and that was his little touch. That's fine. They all have some little eccentricity, and had it just been the brooches, that would have been perfectly fine. But the poor guy was lumbered with the most moronic and eccentric outfit. Sylvester McCoy's outfit wasn't much better. A question mark cardigan. Ugh, gross. Yeah, question mark cardigan as well as a question mark umbrella. Yes. Yuck. So it's been interesting to see what they do with Doctor Who. I hope it doesn't run aground, because this is my fear, is that it's been going now since 2005, and so it's now 2014. So it's now been going quite a while in this second incarnation, as it were. So that's 9 years. My hope is that it doesn't run aground, and that poor old Peter Capaldi, who is a brilliant actor, is not blamed for the demise. I think Stephen Moffat needs to stop pandering to the American market, and I think that's what started to happen. You also need to stop using the sonic screwdriver as a crutch. Now, I wouldn't suggest to get rid of it, but I do think they need to stop using it as a get-all, escape-all device, because it shouldn't be. It's a tool, not a miracle. They need to start constructing plots where the character doesn't suddenly just solve everything at the last minute by pulling a solution out of his arse. The audience has to be involved in the solution. They have to be able to see the solution coming, or at least recognise clues for the solution after the fact. I love the new Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr., but the first one, I thought they did exactly that. They gave you almost no clues as to what happened until and then he reveals everything at the end. And it's like, this isn't, a Victorian era stage drama with a detective revealing all at the end. This is, the 21st century, where if you want to keep an audience, you have to give them clues all the way through. So that actually leads me nicely onto one of my next programmes that I absolutely adore, which is Sherlock, the British one made by the BBC with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. It's such a cruel programme. It's beautiful, it's brilliant, it's incredibly well made. It's 3 bloody episodes a year. Are you kidding me? And there's like a year to a year and a half between each series. Are you kidding me? It's a wonderful programme. I absolutely love it. I really wish they could make more of them and make more of them more frequently. But I understand they had to take a break so that Martin Freeman could be Bilbo Baggins. They had to take a break so that Benedict Cumberbatch could be gone in the Star Trek movie. They're both now film stars as well as TV stars, and they kind of have to build the schedule for the filming of that program around those two actors. Now, I'm in New Zealand at the moment. They showed the 3rd series of Sherlock earlier this year in the United Kingdom, and it's driving me bonkers because they're not showing it over here in New Zealand, and it's really starting to annoy me. I've got a feeling it's going to be on Sky. I've got a real feeling that the bloody thing's going to be on Sky and I'm not going to be able to see it, which means that I'm going to have to wait until I get back to the UK and buy the box set. It's not such a big deal. I don't mind. I mean, I love the program enough to buy the Blu-ray of the first and second series. So buying the third, I've got them. So buying the third's not such a big deal, and we can then binge on it. But it is infuriating knowing it is out there, and I could have seen it if I'd still been in the UK. But then if I'd been in the UK, I'd have missed out on this New Zealand experience. So I don't know. What are you gonna do? Right, I need to think about. I've got just 4 hours left for sleep, so I'm all right for the time being. We're down to 18 hours left for the journey. So we've done quite a bit. Let's just have a quick shufty at where we are on the map. We passed into Germany, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, we're well into Germany, so you can see where we've come from. We're not quite halfway yet, though. And, there is Banska Bystrica. Banska Bystrica. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We've still got places in Germany to visit. We've got Duisburg and Düsseldorf. We've got Erfurt, Magdeburg. But we're doing all right. I don't know if Flensburg is Germany or not. But there we go. Anyway, so back to the road. And back to TV programs. Now, obviously, I want to be loyal to the BBC series, but there's a series which was directly inspired by, in fact, rather cheekily inspired by Sherlock, which is Elementary. The guy that created Elementary wanted to remake Sherlock for the American market, and the BBC very, very swiftly said no. So actually, they wanted to buy Sherlock to put it on. I think it was CBS. Wanted to buy Sherlock to put it on CBS, and the BBC very obviously said, well, no, we're showing it on BBC America. Why on earth would we hand it over to one of our prime broadcasting jewels to another TV station? So no, I'm sorry about that. So he said, well, let me remake it as an American series. And they were like, well, no, we might want to do that later. So no. So he's just gone ahead and done it himself. They've got Johnny Lee Miller as Sherlock, and they've gender swapped John Watson to Joan Watson, and she's played by Lucy Liu. Aside from the fact that it's a bit weird having an Asian American playing a character with a very English name, it is a fantastic performance by Lucy Liu, and it's a great performance by Johnny Lee Miller, and in spite of myself, I absolutely love the bloody programme. I wouldn't be at all surprised if at some point ITV or Channel 4 picked it up just to spite the BBC. And that I would love. We're watching it over here because it's on Prime, which is the Sky Freeview channel over here. That's fine. I'm not paying anyone to watch it, so that's I do feel a little twinge every time I turn over to Prime, but it's what it is. What it is. So, but it's fantastic. It's set in New York instead of London. They use similar sort of tropes and ticks, but they've changed it slightly. In the American version, Joan is hired as a sober companion to make sure that Sherlock stops taking narcotics, instead of the introduction that we get from the BBC show. Okay, I did it again. I knocked the camera again. This is the problem with having a camera pointed at a screen is that you can knock the damn thing. So, yes. So I love both Sherlock and Elementary. They're both fantastic programs, and so they're in my programs I love. I can't remember whether I discussed Chuck properly, but so I'm going to go over it again just in case, because I think I might have got distracted by my empire building, as is my want. When I can, I will talk about it. Oh crap! Oh, please tell me that was just the trailer. The tractor, sorry, yep. Ooh, so we're already up to £36,500. This is not bad. And we haven't even taken a rest break yet, which we are going to have to do in 2.5 hours. So let's quickly check the map, see what we've got coming up. Yeah, we're going to have to do it after Frankfurt. We're going to have to do it after after we change roads in near Frankfurt. We've got 16 hours it's going to take us to deliver. Sorry, it's we've got 40. It's all right. We've got bags of time. We can probably take 2 rest breaks in that. We've got 41 hours. And we're going to take 16, so add another 11. That's 27, 38. Yeah, we've got bags of time. Probably going to make a couple of hours up due to as a direct result of going like the clappers. So that should be fine too. So Chuck was fantastic. Chuck was about a chap that was stuck as a computer repairman in a big box American electronics, a big box store. It was the equivalent of Walmart. Actually, no, not Walmart. I forget what the name. There's a big box American store that primarily sells like TVs and audio equipment and games and computers and peripherals and software and music and movies, and has a viewing room to view your big screen experience and your full audio surround sound experience, that sort of thing. So we stuck doing that, and then a guy from college that he hated because he got him kicked out of college bumps into him, gives him a pair of sunglasses, and turns out that these sunglasses flash millions of terabytes of information into his brain, and he becomes something called the Intersect. Now, I'm not giving anything away. This stuff happens in the first half an hour of the pilot episode, so he is then chased by the FBI and the CIA. The FBI in the form of Adam Baldwin, who was also in Firefly, and CIA in the form of the beautiful Australian actress Yvonne Strahovski. And his character falls head over heels immediately with Strahovski's character called Sarah Walker. Have I missed that spot? No, I'm good. I'm still coming up on it. Immediately falls in love with that character, and it's their adventures spying all over the world, mostly in America, but also all over the world, and his ventures with his 2 parents that have gone missing, his mum and his dad. His dad played by the fantastic actor who was Sam Beckett in It was Sam Beckett in Quantum Leap and Captain Jonathan Archer in Star Trek Enterprise. And wouldn't you believe it, but I've forgotten his bloody name. I'm getting old, I'm going to blame it on the Alzheimer's. And his mother, played by Linda Hamilton, who was Sarah Connor from the Terminator movies. 449 litres, 449 pounds, 384.25 litres. We didn't really need fuel, but when you are stopping, you might as well get fuel. So we're going to rest here. And we've made a load of more money, 86,000. So guess what we are going to do? Boom. We're going to upgrade Brussels. Oh no, not upgrade Brussels. We're going to put a truck in Brussels. It shouldn't take very long at this point. We've got this nailed down to a fine art. Let's buy online. Boom. 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 In. Purchase. Brussels. Poof. And. Okay. Okay. Recruit. Hire driver. At this point we definitely want to keep with people who've got 3. It looks like we might be lucky to find someone with 3. There we go. Jonas so far is the winning candidate. Oh no, there we go. Angelo, boom. ADR and Eco. Brussels, oh no, Brussels, boom. We got 4 grand. Let's I don't think we've got anything on the front, but let's go. And it's night time, which is a shame because it means you can't see a damn thing. Right, so we've got 14 hours of this journey left. Oh, crikey. Keep moving stuff, which is not good. Let me... don't know where the edge of the screen is because I can't see a damn thing. Never mind. So, yes. So Chuck is he's also got a best friend, and 2 colleagues who are bloody weirdos. But it's and he shares a house with his sister, and then ultimately her boyfriend, Captain Awesome, who is awesome at everything, who's a doctor. In fact, so is his sister. It is an amazingly funny program. Oh look, we're already up to 6,500. The money just keeps on rolling in. That's an amazing show, and I love that. And it's great fun and it's funny. Right, Castle, which I mentioned earlier, which is a sort of a comedy drama and mixed with a police procedural. It stars Nathan Fillion, who you remember was in one of my favourite shows, Firefly, that got shit canned pointlessly after a year. Still do not get that. He plays a novelist called Richard Castle, and he wrote a series of books about a character called Derek Storm, which a NYPD detective really enjoys. and she visits a murder scene in the pilot episode and recognises the murder scene from his book, and so calls him in to consult on it. Initially as a suspect, but then to consult on it, and he becomes so enamoured of her that he decides he wants to write a character based on her, so he needs to follow her to get inspiration. It can be a little cheesy, it can be a little bit on the nail, the dialogue can be a bit naff, but it's an amazing show with some lovable characters, and it's one of my guilty pleasures because I absolutely love it, and the wife loves it too, which also helps. That is, I think, in its 6th year. We have watched the first 5 series. Series 6 is being broadcast in America. By the time we get back to the UK, they will probably be broadcasting Series 6 on the terrestrial channel in the UK called 5. So we should be able to catch up with it by the time we get back to the UK. So that's that. What else do I like that's on television that is really cool and fun and interesting? I like a bunch of sitcoms, but to be honest, the sitcom genre it's one of those ones where either you get it right or you get it hideously wrong. There seems to be no middle ground. They're either dull as dishwater or they're brilliant. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground. I discovered Seinfeld late into its run, like in the last 2 years of its existence. It was one of those programs that sort of snuck by me that I completely missed. I've no idea. I think it clashed with something else that I watched. It might have clashed with Star Trek. I forget now. Actually, no, it can't have clashed with Star Trek because I think they were on the same channel. But either way, I didn't really watch it until the last couple of years. And then for a decade it wasn't available on any kind of home medium, and so I never got to watch it. And recently, for the 2014 Super Bowl 48, I think it is, or was it 43? I forget now. The recent Super Bowl that happened last month. Well, last month for me, probably 2 months ago for you. They did. Jerry Seinfeld does an online TV, an online show called Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, and they did a special one which they showed during a break in the Super Bowl with Jerry playing his fictional version of him, and the character George Costanza, and Wayne Knight playing is it Newton? Oh crikey, I can't remember that character, but it reminded me of Seinfeld, reminded me of its existence, and I was hunting YouTube for clips, and I thought it's just reminded me how brilliant that I discovered it was too late. And then I found there's an hour-long documentary which I think is on one of the DVD sets, which shouldn't be on YouTube, but it is. But I don't care. I mean, no one is losing any money from it being there. And it told the whole story about the creation of Seinfeld, and how it came to be, and how it was cast, and how they made it, and how traumatic it was for one of the creators, Larry David, because he would like, I think they made 3 episodes, and he found that traumatic, and then it got picked up, and he was devastated because he thought he'd done with it, because it was a lot of hard work to make it, and then it went from 3 episodes to 8 episodes, and then 13 episodes, and they got a second series, which they had to produce 22 episodes of. And it went on for 9 years, and after 9 years they decided that they wanted to bow out while they were still on top, and then they made this awful final episode. And Then they got to make a sort of like a little love letter to it in Larry David's next program, which is called Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I really should watch, but it's one of those things, I've never got round to it. And it kind of reminded me an awful lot of The Office and Extras, and I kind of those kind of horrendous embarrassment programs, I'm kind of done with them because I can't watch them because I can imagine myself doing the things, and it makes me deeply uncomfortable to watch them. But I suppose I should give it a go. Anyway. So, Seinfeld is one of those programs that I will collect the DVDs for when I get back to the UK. I want to watch it all. I want to see. I mean, I've seen a bunch of episodes. Like I saw this. I remember vividly the Soup Nazi episode, which is hilarious, and is based on a true story. No soup for you. And I remember the episode where George is getting married and he insists on cheap envelopes, and he kind of doesn't want to get married to the woman anymore, but he doesn't know how to break it off. And then she dies from shock because of the toxins in the glue on the cheap-ass envelopes that she's been licking for all of the invites. And so, rather disgustingly, he's free of this wedding. I remember an episode where George's father invokes his favourite manoeuvre, which is the pulling short, which for non-American audiences means suddenly breaking. Okay, I'm really not destined to get this video done quickly. I've knocked the camera twice and I've been interrupted by a phone call, so this is going to be four little segments of video. So that's fun. I'm going to stop this when I've got loads of time to go. I've got 10 hours, so I'm going to have to have another rest break. So I've no idea how much space I've got left on my camera, so I'm just going to let this run until the camera beeps at me. So if at some point I'm in the middle of saying something, I apologise, but I don't know where I am, and I didn't want to spend all that time downloading another bit of footage. So 10 hours left of in-game time. And we are on our way. So we're about 2/3 of the way through the journey. Okay. I liked a number of programs when I was a kid that I have subsequently watched, which I think are absolutely pants. If you're not from the UK, pants is a UK colloquialism for not very good at all. Chips, which was about two California state highway cops that ride bikes. It was all right when I was a kid, but as an adult, it is painful to watch. It's awfully simplistic and cheesy, and not very much fun to watch. Starsky and Hutch, which I adored as a kid. I thought it was wonderful, and I've watched it since, and pretty much every episode is exactly the same. In fact, there's a British comedian called Alan Davis, who you might know from. If you don't know him from his stand-up or from Jonathan Creek, you'll know him from QI. He's the one that Stephen Fry, for Comic Effect, picks on. He did a fantastic routine about how he loved Starsky and Hutch, and then he watched it as an adult, and it turns out it was a right load of old shit. And he broke down the episodes, and it's pretty much this. Bad shit happens. They're at the station. Captain Bodie calls them into the office and chews them out, tells them that they're bad cops. They go and see their snitch, Huggy Bear, and Huggy says, "The word on the street is," and then he gives them a name, and then they get into their car, and then they go and approach these guys, and then these guys recognise them as police, and then there's a car chase, and then they all drive through empty cardboard boxes down side streets in LA. Speeding, lovely. And then after they've driven through enough cardboard boxes, the bad guys go up a one-way street, or get cornered, or go down an alley, or they get pinned in by other vehicles, and then they get out of the police car, and Starsky slides over the bonnet of his big fat Ford Gran Torino, and then they handcuff the guys, and then they have they go back to the station, and there's some laughs, and then Starsky and Hutch have a beautiful moment together. And that's pretty much every single episode, with the exception of the odd episode. I think one of the episodes, Hutch gets captured and he gets forced to become a drug addict, which was an episode we never saw in the UK. They censored it for some bizarre reason. They decided that the British audiences couldn't handle something as real as that. And I saw this routine before I watched it, and then I discovered they were showing them on a TV station called Bravo. So I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and I was sat there thinking, oh my God, Alan Davis is right, this is exactly what happens. They go through the same pantomime in every single episode. And I was so thoroughly disappointed. I'm so annoyed. This is not what I remember from this program. So that was a shame. That was a real shame. Knight Rider, same deal. It was the same thing. They pick a sort of set series of events, and they just repeat them endlessly. It was the same with the A-Team. With the A-Team, they're approached. The potential client approaches Hannibal while he's dressed in a costume and disguise. He agrees to take the job. They break Murdoch out of the mental institute. They knock BA out so that they can fly. BA's pissed when he wakes up. They fight the bad guys. They get cornered. They get locked in a building surrounded by fuckload of tools. They build the most amazing machinery out of all of these wonderful bits and bobs and tools that they are stupidly locked in with. They fight the bad guys and win, and the person thanks them profusely, and they say no problem. And sometimes they even don't take payment. That regularly happened, that they wouldn't take payment for it. And it makes you realise, it makes you long for a program with imagination, where something different happens, where there's a thread. And the only thread through the A-Team was that they were being chased by the US Army because they were wrongly convicted of a crime they didn't commit after the Vietnam War. Pretty much in the 80s, everybody that was in television or in a film that handled any kind of weapon was a Vietnam vet. Rambo, the guy from I'm pretty sure that that at some point they tried to make out that Michael Knight was a Vietnam, but you could pretty much guarantee anybody that was any kind of military had been a Vietnam vet. It featured in so many bloody movies and so many TV programs in the early 80s, early to mid 80s and late 70s. It just became a joke. You can see. Remember how pissed I was at the beginning of this profile at getting a speeding ticket, and now I just simply don't care. I'm up to I had £4,000 when I started this journey. I'm up to 31,000, and I've paid a loan instalment. I mean, money's just no object anymore. This is why I'm so pissed at crashing. My objective is to make it to the end of a journey without damaging the load. That's my goal. That's my thing, and also to get longer journeys and more money for it, and to get upgrades and to build this. My goal is to put garages in more cities, and to visit all of the cities on the map, and to drive on all of the roads. That's what it's becoming about. It's not becoming about the money as it was at the very beginning. It was all about the money. I keep moving this computer, I'm sorry. TV tends not to have much imagination anymore because they can't afford to. They've got to make 22 episodes. Quite often with a TV series where they've got to make... This is the problem with the Americans having to make 22 episodes for something, is that it becomes very difficult for them to maintain the quality. I think that's one of the reasons why some programs with smaller number of episodes actually work out being better, because they've got to... They don't have to come up with as many ideas in such a short space of time. And you'll find there'll be a cycle where there'll be brilliant episodes throughout a series, and there'll be not so brilliant episodes. So, and a couple of other police procedurals that I like that are not police but are police are NCIS, which is Naval Criminal Investigation Service, and NCIS LA. I really like NCIS, but primarily because Mark Harmon's character was pretty badass. It was this sort of fantastic, intelligent, grumpy guy that was running this team. He reminds me a little bit of the character that Tom Hanks played in Saving Private Ryan. That sort of one where nobody really knows a great deal about him, and he sort of leads this squad by intimidation, rather than having to do anything. There's the implication that he will do something. It's excellent. It's really well done. It's starting to go off the boil a little bit because the Mark Harmon grumpy character kind of thing is just wearing a little thin. And I'm enjoying the cheesiness of the LA one. The LA version's got LL Cool J, which is funny all by itself. And is it Christian O'Donnell or Chris McConnell? I forget now. He was Robin in the effing awful Batman and Robin movies, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. Is it Batman Forever? The Joel Schumacher Batman movies are fucking awful. It's really awful. Val Kilmer and George Clooney, and Joel Schumacher killed that series, stone dead, literally, and it's just killed it. Awful. I mean, the first two I loved at the time, but I watched them subsequently, and I've been like, they're a little bit pretentious. And to be honest, the only thing that comes out of those movies, Michael Keaton is excellent as Batman in the first two movies, and Michelle Pfeiffer is excellent as Catwoman in the second movie. I think Danny DeVito is excellent as Penguin. I liked the Jack Nicholson Joker at the time. He's all right. He's still okay. It's I didn't like Kim Basinger's Vicky Vale. Just didn't do it for me. And Michael Gough as the butler is excellent. But just Joel Schumacher totally screwed that series. I mean, really properly ruined it. And I can't watch Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can't watch poor old Tommy Lee Jones. Just he must have thought he was coming into something excellent. And it's the same for poor old Val Kilmer and George Clooney. They finally get to play a major superhero, and then they get Nicole Kidman. Just the chances of being taken seriously in that movie. I mean, I know it's a bit of an oxymoron, taken seriously as an actor in a comic book movie. But anyway, so where was that jumping off from? NCIS LA. It's played for laughs. It's a very light-hearted. You can't take the premises of either of. You can't take the premise of any of the episodes particularly serious, but I like the dynamic between some of the characters. There's a loan payment, a loan instalment. Yes, you can't take the premise particularly seriously, but that's fine. It is what it is, and as long as you accept that it's not supposed to be taken seriously, you can watch it in the same vein that you watch the Da Vinci or watch or read the Da Vinci Code, because you cannot take anything that's said in that seriously. You have to take them as an adventure, sort of a cracking romp, an adventure, not as a serious treatise on religion, because so much of what he does in that's speculation or complete bullshit. But that's fine. Oh look, we're passing Brno. We're in the Czech Republic. So we're actually not far from our destination. I'm thinking, yeah, we are 5 hours, so that's not far. Not far at all. So I reckon we've got another 15 minutes of real time before we're at our destination. So I've only got 15 more minutes to talk about programs I love. And then probably another 10 minutes of bad parking. Oh crap, I nearly crashed into the barrier there. I nearly ruined it all. So 5 more hours of driving, but I've got only 4 more hours until I've got to take another rest. We're going to make a buttload of cash in that 4 hours. We've gone from 26 to 41,000 pounds in the last 3 minutes. We're going to make a boatload of cash in the time in that 11-hour rest period that I have to take before. So I'm going to actually do that sooner rather than later, because I'm going to want to take my tradition 3 rest periods. So let's do that now. I'm not going to bother with fuel. I've got so much fuel, I don't need to really worry about it. So we'll do that. We'll take a rest. I'm going to take a rest here. Damn it, no. Let's take a rest here. Here we go. So I would imagine it's going to be night time again by the time we're done. Yeah, we're 9 o'clock in the evening. So, oh, look at that. We're up to 91,000. So you know what we're going to do. We're going to immediately use that cash. And boom. Buy online. Boom. And change the engine. So, we're going to put it in Brussels, and we're going to go into the last. That's that one. We've got 11,000 left, which is more than enough to recruit. Let's hire a driver. And have we got a driver? With 3. I think we're going to be lucky to find a driver with 3 skills already applied. Oh no, we've got Jonas. Jonas has got 3. And I think Jana has 3. Jana's got eco. And Jeff has got 3. He's got long distance and eco. Yeah. Let's go with Jeff. Let's put Jeff in Belgium. We've now filled out our. We can now upgrade. We can now upgrade our Prague garage. That'll be the next 80k we spend. So we've got 4.5 hours, and we are on our way. We're 20 minutes in. I'm going to apologise in advance if this cuts out. It is possibly likely to before I've finished this video, because I don't know how long I've got, but we'll see. So we were talking about TV programs and the TV programs that I like. So we're now entering, I think we're entering Slovakia, which I think, yes, we're entering Slovakia, which is where, oh crap, oh, I got away with that. How on earth did I get away with that? No, I do not know. I have no idea. Oh, and you can see the arrows telling us that Bystrica, Banska Bystrica is this way. We're still a little way from it. But the only thing we have to worry about now is parking. Getting there and parking. We don't have to worry about fuel, we don't have to worry about resting. So TV programs. Yeah, so there isn't a great deal. I mean, there's more. I think that in audiences are more demanding nowadays. There was a time when teenagers weren't particularly demanding of the drama that they watched on television, but I think they're a little bit more demanding. They've got never has humanity had so much information available to it and made so many wrong choices about that information. I mean, it means that we are in a situation where little information is a very, very dangerous thing, because people are making colossal assumptions based on tiny fragments of information. But it does mean we're aware of stuff that we weren't aware of 20, 30 years ago. And we have our access to that information almost immediately. I mean, the days of looking up in an encyclopedia are gone. They're over. Now, that's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in that we've got information and we don't have to wait to access it. But it's a bad thing because it means that the information has got to be available immediately, which means that the onus on people to make sure that information is accurate as possible has diminished. There was a time when you had to have 3 verifiable sources before you could publish anything, because that was the done thing. You didn't publish anything unless you could prove that through 3 independent verifiable sources that something was true. Nowadays, if someone says it, then oh, I think. If someone says, oh, I think, and 2 minutes later it's on the internet as so-and-so says, fact. As if, just hearing someone say something makes it a fact, which is terrifying to me, terrifying. Because that's absolutely not how it works. Something has to be a fact before you can honestly say it's a fact. You can say it's a fact, whether it's a fact or not, but it doesn't make it a fact just because you've said it. It has to be a fact before it is a fact. Which is why these religious nutjobs that bang on about dinosaurs and humanity living together and the planet only being 6,000 years old is an utter nonsense. Just because you want something to be true won't make it true, and just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's not true, if it can be proven. We can prove that the age of the planet is billions of years old, and whether you like that or not is irrelevant. The fact is that the planet is billions of years old, and it can be proved that it is billions of years old. Now, we use carbon dating to date stuff, and obviously there's a certain point at which we can't use carbon dating anymore, and that's when they started exploding nuclear weapons. So the mid-40s the late 30s, sorry, is when we can late 30s, early 40s is when we cannot carbon date, and that's because of the proliferation and testing of nuclear weapons. That has interrupted the carbon dating process. And that's not going to go away. There are certain parts of the planet that we're not going to be able to visit for thousands of years because we've blown them up with nuclear weapons. They're uninhabitable. I know that Hiroshima and Hiroshima are inhabitable now, but billions have been spent on them, making them habitable. Like the soil has been removed and replaced, and stuff's been done to those places to make them habitable. But they're not 100% safe, and you live there for a while. If you're born there, your chances of developing some kind of cancer are astronomically high, and that in itself is a tragedy. Oh, we're losing money because people can't find jobs. That's not good. So we're quite close to our destination, but I think we're also equally quite close to running out of memory for our camera. So we're about to take a left turn here. And I'm going, whoa. And what I did was extraordinarily bad, extremely naughty. So Banska Bystrica is still ahead, we're still not there, we're still 2.5 hours away, which is probably 4 to 5 minutes. Ooh, computer's quite warm. Oh, I long for the days when I don't have to worry about cameras running out of memory space. That will be wonderful. So, here we go. Yeah, that looks so awful. I know I can read it says 100 to 10, but I'm now sort of reverting to my, I don't want to see it, it looks ugly. So, let's cut this corner off like a good Formula 1 driver. So hit the apex and then go the other side. That's what we're going to do. Whoa, lovely. Thank you, Leszek. £5,000. £5,000 to line the coffers towards that 80 grand to increase the size of Prague. See, in maybe 4 or 5 journeys, we've gone from having to upgrade Brussels and fill it with 5 drivers to filling Prague, which was empty, with 3 drivers and needing to upgrade. We are rocketing ahead. We're making so much money. It's wonderful. It's the approach. Because I'm at the point where there's nothing really a great deal that I can do to this truck. There's no further upgrades to the engine. There's no, I don't want to put bull bars all over the front of this truck because I don't think it will give me anything. The only thing I want to do to this truck is to change it to my custom paint job, and I can't do that anymore at the moment because I don't have the computer to run. I don't have the computer to run Photoshop, which means that I'm not in a position to create that custom profile, and I'm not friendly enough with someone who is that can create that custom profile for me. So yeah, no, we're not in that position just yet, but we will be. We will be making that custom paint job, and then we'll be spending money on getting our fleet repainted. It's going to cost a fortune. I think a custom paint job is probably 5 to 12,000 pounds per truck. Now you get some money back. I think the paint job we're wearing at the moment is 4,000. So each paint job is going to cost. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen. Even with the speed, even with the large speed limit signs, I'm getting speeding fines. So yeah, that's not helping me. So we're just an hour away from Banska Bystrica. So an hour away from parking. Yes, I'm a lot behind schedule because I've had 2 accidents and a phone call, which is 3 downloads. Yes, I've 4 downloads. I've got to download 4 separate files, 2 of which I've already done, a third of which I haven't done yet. I left it on the camera, and this is the 4th one. So there's the 3 interruptions because I received a phone call which totally stopped the recording. But we I didn't even see that guy coming up my inside. I can't wait for better graphics so I can see these guys. Bigger screen so that I can see this stuff happening before it happens. Cut that apex so that I'm not... so that I can flatten out the curve. I'm not turning as sharply, which would induce a roll. And yeah, we're quite close. 16 minutes of in-game time, which is probably another minute or 2. I've got a turn off coming, so I'm gonna. It's not this one; it's the next one. That one is yellowed out. I'm looking forward to the day when there are none of those in this game. I don't know whether it'll ever happen, but it's what I'm looking forward to. I think we're quite safe. Yeah. The Euro Truck Simulator 3 is quite a while off because they are deeply speeding offence. God, that's like the 4th speeding offence. So Banska Bystrica has been discovered. So that's done. Oops. I'm racking up the fines here. Oh no, yeah, we got lucky. We got a green, that's good. I think I'm going for this one because I'm not sure where I am with memory space. I'm going to run straight to the drop-off point, and I'll do all of the. I nearly hammered into a wall and did damage to my load there. Yeah, I'll do all the faffing around in the next video. I might take a short journey because I want to make another video, but I'm running out of time to do it. And we are dropping off here. Oh, this is hateful. I'm not keen on this. Hang on, I'm going to quickly get out of the truck and have a look around. Okay. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I am nearly tight enough on that. So this is definitely, almost certainly going to be I think a reverse and another go. Yeah, I thought so. Yes. Well, we might get it in... No, if we do that. No, it's going to be 3. Let's keep this straight. And we'll be in... And I think we might be alright. I think it's 3rd time lucky. Or as the Americans like to say, 3rd time's a charm. Here we go. And that got worse. Right, so parking brake on, engine off. Cargo. Excellent! Apples from Dover to Banska Bystrica. Distance 1700 kilometres. Time taken 39 hours 55 minutes. Fuel consumed 628.7 litres. Base reward £27,495 and 1700 XP. Proficiency bonus for level 26 £10,722. Long distance delivery bonus for skill rank 4 of £5,354 and 425 XP. And a bonus for parking the trailer of 45 XP. This gives us a total cash reward of £43,572 and an XP reward of 2,170. We are still level 26 instructor, but we weren't expecting anything. It's at this stage it's 2 or 3, sometimes 4 journeys to get to level up. So we are, for this profile, we have a lifetime XP of 77,100 XP, and our next target for level 27 is 80,100. So that I'm quite happy with. We got there, it's excellent, we did a long journey. We discussed TV, and I managed not to crash. And I got a buttload of XP and a buttload of cash, and we really expanded our empire. So thank you very much for sticking with this video. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you watch more than one, thank you very much for that. And until the next video, until I see you in that next video, I'll see you on the road.